Gladiators, emperors, and chariots are all very well when talking about ancient Rome. But what did ordinary Romans do for work? If you've ever wondered about their day jobs, get ready to learn about a surprising variety of careers, from fishermen to bakers to barbers. Welcome back, friends, to my channel where we bring history to life. And today, let's explore the world of work in ancient Rome. We'll discover the different jobs people had, how much they earned, and what a typical workday looked like. So grab your tools and get ready to work, because it's going to be a busy day in ancient Rome. Let's start with a few stats. Back in ancient Rome, most folks started working around age 14 or 15, a little younger than today. Men usually kept working until they were around 60, while women stopped at around 40 since they often got married and had kids earlier. Now, typically they worked from around sunrise to sunset, so about 12 to 14 hours a day, which is a lot longer than we work now. The only time off they got was during the midday heat, from about 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., when it was way too hot to work outside. During this break, everyone took a long nap, ate some lunch, and just relaxed until the sun went down. So yeah, they worked hard, but they napped harder. And let's talk about pay. In Roman times, people got paid in silver coins called denarii. How much you earned depended on your job. Slaves, who weren't technically free, could earn up to 100 denarii a month, equivalent to around $375 today. Meanwhile, skilled workers like doctors and lawyers made up to 500 denarii, or about $1,875. But for most regular folks, the pay was closer to 25 to 50 denarii a month, or $94 to $187. Now, keep in mind, most people had families to support, so they often needed to have multiple jobs to get by. And if you think that's a lot, well, maybe not so much. A loaf of bread cost about 3 denarii, so even a middle-class family spent a big chunk of their income on food. All right, now that we know how much and how long people worked, let's see what kind of jobs they had. We're going to start with a simple one, a fisherman. Casting nets into the Tiber River or out in the open sea, these guys brought in the day's catch. It was hard, early morning work, hauling in the nets and then cleaning and preparing the fish for sale. Since fish was a popular food in Rome, there was always demand for fresh catches. So fishermen were an important part of the community. But wait, don't forget our baker. They kneaded dough, shaped loaves, and kept the ovens fired up. Their shop smelled amazing, but it was hard, hot work. They started early in the morning to get fresh bread for the market. And don't forget, no air conditioning back then. Next up, we have a butcher. These folks were responsible for slaughtering and preparing meat for sale. It wasn't for the faint of heart, but they played an important role in providing food for the city. They might have worked in a big public market or a smaller shop, but either way, they were up early and working hard. Then we have a blacksmith. They heated metal, beat it into shape, and made everything from tools to weapons. It was hot, dangerous work, but blacksmiths were highly respected for their skills. And then we got carpenters. They measured, cut, and assembled wood to make all sorts of things from furniture to building materials. They might have worked in a workshop or traveled to different job sites. Either way, they were essential for construction and home building. Farmers grew crops like wheat, olives, and grapes. They planted and harvested, took care of animals, and sold their goods at the market. Farming was hard, physical work, but it was essential for feeding the city. Soldiers protected Rome from enemies. They trained, marched, and fought, defending the city and its people. Soldiers came from all over the empire and served for years, sometimes even decades. Life was dangerous, but they were highly respected for their service. Don't forget the ballista maker. They created and maintained ballistae, huge machines used to hurl objects like rocks and javelins over long distances. Ballistae were used in war and for crowd control, so these makers were important for defense and order. Laborers helped with construction projects, moving materials and digging ditches. It was tiring work, but important for building Rome's infrastructure. A barber gave haircuts and trimmed beards. They might have worked in a shop or traveled to different homes, cutting hair and shaving beards. It wasn't just a job, it was a social event. Chariot drivers drove chariots, horse-drawn vehicles used for transportation and racing. They raced around the chariot track or drove wealthy Romans through the city. It was a fast-paced job, but important for getting around. Winemakers crushed grapes, fermented them, and aged the wine. They sold their product to taverns and wealthy Romans, and their expertise was highly valued. Market sellers, fruit sellers, fishmongers, and other vendors sold their goods in the bustling marketplaces of Rome. They might have had their own stalls or traveled around the city, peddling their wares. It was a great way to make money, but you had to be a good salesperson. A freed slave, after gaining their freedom, might have taken on a variety of jobs, from working as a servant to starting a small business. They were an important part of Roman society, and their skills and experience were highly valued. In ancient Rome, not all women were confined to the household. Many, especially from lower social classes, played vital roles in the economy as skilled workers and performers. Textile work was one of the most common occupations. Women spun wool, dyed fabrics, and wove cloth in workshops or from their homes, often contributing significantly to their family's income. Others worked as craftswomen, creating pottery, jewelry, or cosmetics, and sold their goods in bustling Roman marketplaces. But it wasn't all laborsome women found their place in entertainment. Dancers and musicians performed at banquets, festivals, and public games. Though often viewed with a mix of admiration and suspicion, these performers brought music and movement to Roman life. These jobs weren't just about survival. They were about expression, skill, and sometimes even fame. Now imagine you're an average Roman worker. You might wake up before sunrise to the sound of vendors calling out their wares and the rumble of carts on the cobblestone streets. After a quick breakfast, you head out to your first job. Maybe you're a carpenter working on a new chariot for a wealthy customer. Or perhaps you're a farmer tending to your crops in the fields outside the city. The sun beats down on you as you work, and you take a break to eat some fruit and drink some water. As the morning wears on, you continue your work, thinking about the delicious dinner you'll have later. Finally, as the sun sets, you head home, tired but satisfied with a day's work well done. That's a glimpse into the lives of the common people of ancient Rome. While the emperors and gladiators may have been the stars of the show, it was the everyday workers who kept the city running. From the baker to the butcher, the carpenter to the farmer, each person played an important role in the life of the city. Now it's your turn. What job would you choose to have in ancient Rome? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you liked this video, and subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.